Hillary's Quick Talk with Hillary Valdez.
Hi, everyone. Today we're talking about suicide. During the pandemic, our global distress increased, loss of loved ones to COVID, rising food and gas prices, losing a job, and financial challenges. No one is free from adversity and the struggles of life. When a person commits suicide, that's a tough one. How do you cope with that? The sudden traumatic death is painful for surviving family members and loved ones. This is called traumatic grief. In times of conflict, life struggles, and war, there are unanswerable questions as to why a person died, or how they died, or why they took their life. Each year, worldwide estimated 800,000 people at least die of suicide. 1 in every 100 deaths in 2019 were the results of suicide. The global suicide rate is over twice as high for men than women. Over half, or 58%, of all deaths by suicide occurred before the age of 50 years old. Suicide occurs in all regions of the world. Over 3/4, or 77%, of global suicides in 2019 occurred in low and middle income countries. If you find yourself in a black hole filled with grief, filled with disappointment, anger, bitterness, despair, hang in there. Don't give up. Life can be an emotional roller coaster. This is a common reaction to life. Life is tough. If you have thoughts of suicide, get help. Place the call, okay? Have hope. Hope means hang on, pain ends, okay? Being emotionally disoriented is temporary. Being sad, lonely, hurt, and feeling lost is a natural feeling. You may be limping along, but you're still alive, and that's a good thing. Your life can improve. Just step on the stone as it appears. Go straight fearward with all your fears and struggles. Suicide is the 12th leading cause of death in the United States. In 2020, over 1 million people attempted suicide. In America, on average, there are 130 suicides per day. 130 a day, man, that's a lot. In 2020, firearms accounted for over 52% of all suicide deaths. Now, United States veterans are more likely to die by suicide than any American who hasn't served in the military. Suicide is the leading cause of death in the United States, with over 45,000 deaths in 2020. This is about one death in every 11 minutes. The number of people who think about or attempt suicide is even higher. In 2020, an estimated 12.2 million American adults seriously thought about suicide. 3.2 million planned a suicide attempt. If you get help, you won't regret it. Your loved ones will be happy you're still alive. When a loved one commits suicide, the survivor searches for answers, searches for understanding. Yet some questions cannot be fully answered. There's a big question mark. It's natural to search for understanding when a traumatic event happens. But this really takes a lot of energy and effort, emotional energy and effort. And it's easy to blame God, to be angry with him. That's the first thing we usually say, oh, why did God let this happen? But grief affects every part of who you are. How and why your loved one died has a great impact on your grief. Wherever you travel, you take your emotions with you. However, even the worst trauma can produce positive changes in you. Many factors can increase the risk of suicide or protect against it. Suicide is connected to other forms of injury and violence. For example, people who have experienced violence, including child abuse, bullying, sexual violence, have a higher suicide risk. Being connected to your family and community support and having easy access to health care can decrease suicidal thoughts. I was going to say turn the volume down on suicidal thoughts and behaviors. In 2020, suicide was among the top 9 leading causes of death for people ages 10 to 64. 10? Really? Suicide was the second leading cause of death for people aged 10 to 14 and 25 to 34. Man, that's awfully young. Come on. Other Americans with higher than average rates of suicide rates are veterans, people who live in rural areas, and workers in certain industries such as mining and construction. Young people who identify as lesbian, gay, or bisexual have higher rates of suicidal thoughts when compared to their peers who identify as heterosexual. Now, be nice to yourself. When in doubt, contact the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. The numbers should be on this scroll. It's a heavy topic, but these are heavy times, and people need help. We all need help, so stick together. Okay, you take care of yourself.
Life is like a blind date. You need to have a little faith. Hillary's Quick Talk. If you like what you saw and heard, click on subscribe and on like.